Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Rain has been moving through southeast Michigan, and there's still a threat of severe storms.
But the bigger concern may be what's coming overnight and into tomorrow morning. And we'll start there tonight at 6 because we're talking about a lot of rain, and it's going to come while many of us are sleeping.
In fact, there's a flood watch in effect, so let's get over to Andrew. He's tracking it all for us. Hi there, Andrew.
Hey there, Kimberly and Devin. And that flood watch in effect because of round 2 that's on tap, as you mentioned, later on tonight. Round 1 has already pushed through the area, just some leftover areas of sprinkles and light rain with thunderstorms to our east and south that stay in those areas. So we get a bit of a break for now, but come midnight and afterward, we've got more rain on the way. That's why the flood watch remains in effect for Detroit, most of southeast Michigan through tonight until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. I mean, look at some of these rain totals that may occur in your neighborhood. As much as a ½ inch to an inch of rain right here in Detroit, out to Romulus, just over an inch down toward Monroe, an inch or more possible in parts of Oakland County, including around Pontiac and Waterford and northern portions of Macomb County and along the I-69 corridor. So we're not done yet. So do what you can to go ahead and take care of your home or take care of your neighborhood. When it comes to your basement, if you know it's vulnerable, try to secure any appliances, move valuable items to higher shelves or higher floors. Check on your neighbors as well. We'll talk about more about what happens after the rain in your 7-day forecast in minutes. Now remember, you can track these showers any time of day, any time of night, whether you're on the go or at home with the Local Forecasters app. So download it now. It is faster, easier, it has our forecast, and again, you can track anything weather-wise. The Local Forecasters app, search WDIV in your app store.
Andrew, now to a frightening incident inside one of the parking garages at Detroit Metro Airport.
Police say Raymond Anthony Jackson Jr. tried to rape a woman, and they believe he didn't stop there. Local 4's Rod Maloney is live at the airport tonight with the newest information. Rod.
Yeah, we're out here at what was the North Terminal, now the Evans Terminal. You look behind me here, it's the big blue deck, and if you look, you can see a security camera kind of sticking out on the outside of the building. That is one of the cameras they have here. We went inside looking for cameras inside the building, but they don't seem obvious, and yet the airport does tell us that they do have them in there. Whether or not these cameras mattered in the arrest of this guy is still a question, but you can bet there were a lot of unnerved airline passengers tonight. His name, Raymond Anthony Jackson Jr., 32 years old, of Southfield. He's facing kidnapping and aggravated indecent exposure charges. He's still in the Wayne County Jail tonight, apparently unable to make the $10,000 or 10% bond a judge gave him at his arraignment this morning. Prosecutors say on Tuesday morning, May 17th, he went inside the big blue deck and stalked women, in particular a 45-year-old Ohio woman whom he lured or pulled into a secluded area and then tried to attack. Metro Airport police say that this was one of 2 different assaults that morning, and they view Jackson as a person of interest in that second similar attack. The airport put out a notice of the attack that day, but they say Jackson proved elusive. It took the Wayne County Fugitive Apprehension Team and law enforcement agencies throughout Michigan and also out of state to find him. The airport authority says it immediately increased police patrols in the airport parking garages and kept them in place since May 17th. They encourage everyone who might walk alone through the airport garages to be on alert. They advise 4 things. 1, be aware of your surroundings. 2, say something if you see something by dialing 911. 3, you should walk confidently and do not talk to strangers. And finally, they say you should walk in groups if at all possible. Now, Jackson's going to be back in court on June 15th for a probable cause hearing. Usually the preliminary exam comes 2 weeks thereafter. That's the case, or that's the time when you hear more of the evidence in that case. We'll certainly be checking that out when it comes up. Back to you.
So, Rod, what else do we know about these expanded police patrols?
Well, one of the things that the airport wanted everybody to know is that not only have they expanded these patrols, but they've also made them 24/7. In other words, they want to make sure that people who go into these garages feel more secure than they did, say, before the 17th.
And that is so important. Okay, Rod, thanks.
A day of celebration in one Detroit neighborhood turned terrifying when an out-of-control driver hit several cars and then hit and killed a man in a motorized wheelchair. Happened on the city's west side at Artesian and Dayton. Sean Lay live there with the story. Sean, neighbors saw what happened, and they were the ones who made sure the driver didn't get away.
Also, they also wanted to make sure she stopped, and they couldn't get her to stop, so she kept hitting vehicles. This is just one of the vehicles here she slammed into on the street, hitting several more vehicles. Again, people urging her to stop, thinking she was intoxicated or something was wrong, urging her to give up her keys. She wouldn't do it, hitting two more people with some minor injuries. Then a man in his wheelchair crossing right here, and she hit him also. Cell phone video shows you the aftermath and the chaos on Artesian Street on the city's west side. A driver fleeing police hits a man in his wheelchair as he was crossing the street, killing him.
She hit the guy in there.
It began up the street at a prom send-off party June 2nd. Up and down the street were graduation parties. Witnesses say they feared 24-year-old Michaela Wilson was under the influence of something, and people urged her to give up her car keys. Instead, police say she backed into two people, injuring them. Police were already arriving after getting calls about Wilson fighting people. As she sped away from officers, she hit several cars, and then she hit the man crossing the street in his wheelchair, killing him.
Is the chair he hit right here in the fence, and his bag hit in the tree, and he flipped.
This is Wilson's vehicle. Unable to drive it, she got out and hid inside a house.
That's where she ran.
Where stunned neighbors were intent on not letting her get away with her actions. Back here live, Michaela Wilson now charged with operating while intoxicated, causing death, reckless driving, causing death, failing to stop at an accident when at fault, causing death, resisting and obstructing. She's being held tonight on a $500,000 cash bond. Devin Kimberly, the 48-year-old man in the wheelchair who lost his life here. Neighbors say he came by here every single night so he could visit with his friends. We're live tonight on the west side. Sean Lay, Local 4, back to you.
All right, Sean.
A Warren police officer is off the streets tonight because of this arrest captured on camera. It happened moments after a crash involving a stolen vehicle with a gun and drugs inside. Officers took a man into custody, but there are concerns they went too far in doing so. As our Victor Williams reports, Warren PD has already taken at least one action.
Well, that police officer is on administrative leave while this investigation continues. This is the stop sign that was taken out by a stolen car. Take a look at the marks there from when it was knocked over by that vehicle. That person was taken into custody, but many are saying that the arrest that took place may have been too much.
Dog, no way, this just happened in front of me, bro.
This white car comes flying out of nowhere, takes out a stop sign, and then 4 cop cars surround that car, yank him out of the car, and then they had like 4 or 5 guys on top of him already, wailing on him, and then we had this big bald guy comes in, leaning on the stolen car, stomping on the back of his knee.
Christian Rose says he couldn't help but pull out his phone and record an arrest taking place on June the 2nd near Chester and Shelvin.
And once I saw him stomping on him, I stopped recording. I got one of the guys' attention. He told me to get out of here.
The short but very telling video was posted online and is drawing outrage on social media. Warren Police Commissioner Bill Dwyer says afterwards the department took action right away.
It was immediately placed on administrative leave, and it was turned over to the Internal Affairs Division of the Warren Police Department for investigation.
The driver is believed to be okay and is now behind bars facing serious charges surrounding the stolen car, a gun that was found inside, and marijuana. But some are saying no matter what was done, such a beating wasn't necessary.
I ask for the patience as we take our time to ensure that the investigation is completely and properly conducted.
Christian says he understands the whole situation is a gray area.
And if I was 2 seconds earlier, that guy could have hit me, possibly killed me. So, like, I'm not going to defend him, but I'm also not going to defend the police. I feel like the police did a really good job up until they actually had the guy.
Hey, y'all got him!
Ultimately, Christian says he started filming because he wants change where things like this aren't so common.
And that's the America I really believe in, because that's the America I was raised to believe in.
And officials are looking into body cam footage to hopefully be released at a later date. Victor Williams, Local 4.
See how it works out. Okay, Victor, thanks.
2 men are busted in a sex sting as they try to meet up with what they thought was an underage girl. Kevin Diesler of Clio and Jeremy Coder of Shelby Township were caught in an undercover operation involving deputies from Oakland and Genesee counties. Investigators say the men thought they were going to meet a 15-year-old girl for sex at a Rochester Hills motel. When they got there, they were met by deputies. They're facing several felonies that could land them in prison for life. Harper Woods police sending out a stranger danger alert tonight. Officers say a white SUV approached two small children yesterday in the area of Hollywood and Harper. A woman and two men inside the vehicle allegedly asked the kids if they wanted some candy, but they refused, so the group took off. A parent from St. Clair Shores says their 5-year-old daughter was also approached by a driver near Harper and 8 Mile. So if you see any suspicious activity, you're urged to contact Harper Woods police right away.
Police say they've arrested someone for destroying a statue in Adrian. It happened early Saturday morning on East Maumee Street in downtown Adrian. Police say that person was quickly located and confessed to breaking the statue. They also say alcohol appears to have been a factor in their decision. Charges are pending.
History was made today in Michigan. The first woman of South Asian descent took the oath of office to serve on the Michigan Court of Appeals.
Judge Seema Patel of Royal Oak was appointed by Governor Whitmer to the Second Court of Appeals in February. She'll preside over Oakland, Macomb, and Genesee counties. Judge Patel's father spoke at the ceremony, leading a traditional Hindu prayer.